Good Sunday morning, everybody. If it is morning where you're at. So, what's new with you?
Happy Sunday, go Birds.
Uh-oh, here we go. We're already gonna start with the fighting. We're gonna see the NFL loyalties come out here on this show, huh? All right. As best as we can, and barring any absolute shock, need for me to make a massive emergency leave, which I hope will not happen. I think we're good to go.
Let's go while we're young.
And some people are still as impatient as you expect. I think we are ready. Let's do this.
Welcome. Come in. Fresh victims for my ever-growing army of the undead.
Sir, you have to let go of the button.
Well, son of a bitch.
Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday to you, and thanks for coming on in. It is the Fluffy Kitty Ninja Show, and holy crap, it feels like it's been an eternity since I last streamed. But that's only because real life got interesting. For those of you who do know, it's been interesting. For the second time in 5 months, I've had an emergency need to rush to the hospital to make sure that Mrs. Kamish does not kind of die. Long story. We won't get you into it. We'd rather talk baseball here, or at least this guy would like to talk baseball, because I've kind of done with all of everything else that's been going on. It's been an extremely frustrating, emotional, overwhelming time. And she's home. She's resting comfortably. But again, an emergency surgery 24 hours prior, she's chilling at a hot tub with nobody around, no care in the world. Yeah. Cut the crap, Mrs. Kamish. Period. Right? I know she didn't do it on purpose, but... Alright. Let's, I see the wrestling talk is going on in the chat, so it's like pay no attention to the streamer at this moment. Well, okay, maybe not. Hello! Well! Z-Dubs! Well, thank you very much, sir. Been a bit since we've seen you. In fact, I think you might have left our Discord recently. So, 5 gifted subs. Thank you for activating the Jedi Cats here to start us off. We always love their duels. And keep it just short enough that Anju doesn't get upset about having to edit that out. Appreciate it. Thank you. And that's 5 gifted subs out to the community, and also a boost. Where is Zach? Where's Zach's player? That got me curious now. And you had some boosts already. So let's, where are you now? Where are you? Just made a new player. Laptop Hounds player. Hello!
Optimus Prime.
You are Optimus Prime. Altoona, Pittsburgh Pirates. Z-Dubs' Nicholas Lee gets a nice little boost here. That'll make Cody, I'm sure, a happy camper. Meanwhile, it's PJ dropping Optimus Prime on all of you guys. Sorry, he's kind of heavy. But he comes bearing gifts. More specifically, Bezos bucks. Because that didn't cost PJ a dime. He puts his boost here. He gets his sub here. And again, there's like, what, a gazillion hot tub channels here on Twitch that you could post to. And you do it here. So thank you. We appreciate that you did that. PJ. And again, for those of you who don't know, if you have Amazon Prime... We know you do, because doesn't everybody? Then you also have Twitch Prime as long as you connect your account. There's the link to do so. That gives you one free boost or I keep calling it boost because that's what we do here. It gives you one free sub every 30 days. So where you choose to put it doesn't cost you a dime. And the streamer that you support does get Bezos bucks. So now I can make an 80,000-foot Imperial Star Destroyer yacht like Jeff Bezos has. No. In my head, yes, it would be fun. But then I wonder, how long would it take to jog from the back of a Star Destroyer to the front? Those things are supposedly like 2 3/4 miles long. So, get a good workout. Feel bad for the guy that would have to do that, his regular job. Certain Dark Sith overlords might be forcing that type of stuff, But anyway, that's another story, and that's definitely a non-baseball. Hello!
16 months. Woohoo. Hope you're doing alright today, man.
Like, oh my god, Dishnet just dropped a sub, and hope I'm doing okay, but I'm really wrecked this weekend, so I'm just gonna drink from this one cup that I said I would use just once and say, I'm not 50, I'm 18 with 32 years of experience, totally. Thanks, Dish. Valley Girl mode deactivated. Can only do that for so long, so. Cheers and good morning to all of you. Dear Lord, I didn't even do my usual intro. I didn't do my usual intro for you guys, because it's been that kind of time. I am the commish. Everyone calls me that. My friends will call me LB. I'm calling Mrs. Commish things with 4-letter words if she keeps trying to do chores right now. Barely 24 hours removed after having surgery, 36 to be exact, but who's counting? You get the idea. Cut it out, or else I'll be swearing a lot and Daffy will get massively overpaid.
Watch your language, bud. We're on the air.
I did see your non-boost as well.
And I dance, and I dance, cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance, cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance, cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance, cat. I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, and I dance,
Dish gifting a sub over to our new Detroit GM, Steve Hunter. We also do have a Oakland GM now. I will be introducing him later, unless he happens to show up today. I don't know if he's here or not. Let me write that down. So, Steve, that means that you can go ahead and create a player. It's Ben. Who's Ben? Who's Ben? Who's Ben? Oh, there he is. 3 Sport Geek will be joining our ranks. Welcome to Will. Will Moore, for those who may or may not know him, but 3 Sport Geek has taken on, we had 3 interviewees. One, I almost thought about giving a serious look to, but I didn't think it was the right time to go with them. So, 3 Sport Geek will be joining us as the Oakland GM. Don't go bugging him about Julio Rodriguez, please. Leave him alone. Give him a chance. We got to get him into the file first. I'm watching you, Sharks. Reminder, $2 million fine if I find out you're being naughty. That is the rule. It is written. But he will fit in well. How many boosts do you have available? Oh my god, you're gonna make me, do that right now? You're so wicked. But only because I have it open. Well, you've got at least 8 if you count the 2 that you've done today. Because I had 6 credited prior, but I haven't updated the database with today's kindness of anyone out there. Alright, gang. So, it's a little laissez-faire, no? It's not carpe diem. I guess it's laissez-faire. It's kind of just chill and have some fun. So Jason was saying it's Ben, right? As in like Ben having a second team. Oh, I'll never have that happen ever again. I assure you that. But officially, because Jason said it, and because he's our foghorn.
You're way off. I say you're way off this time, son.
There you go. You're way off. Before you start filling out the template. All right, you got it. All right, so we got 4 days we'll be simming. It's the off season. We're kind of in that lull. Expansion draft done. We'll talk about some trades that have been taking place in a moment. And one of our two teams has been pretty active. Blarg!
Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.
Blarg.
Blarg! Blarg to you too. Thanks, Pug. Appreciate it. 13 months Reddit. Getting, well, I shouldn't say Reddit's getting the boost because we're getting to that neighborhood. You might do it. You're on your own, right?
Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.
Somewhat active.
Get less for murder. And somewhat active Attica. Our Portland Stags GM coming in and dropping a tier 2 sub, which of course, from a boost perspective, gets him a +3 into his coffers. Does that mean Qui-Gon Jimmy? Qui-Gon Jimmy getting the boost?
Hello there.
Hello there. Oh, dear Lord. If we cut sub alerts right at the point where instruments play on I'm a Kitty Cat, then we probably won't get DMCA'd. Okay. So, Pug, I have a section in the Discord to answer your question. I have a section in the Discord that talks about all different ways people get boosts, including those who choose to support the channel here.
And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat.
DMCA, DMCA, according to Aju. DMCA, DMCA.
Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, dance, dance.
Oh, it just came to mind right then. Don't mind. Look at Jason converting over to a paying sub as I drop my phone. I got to keep my phone right handy today just in case. Let's see.
Pay attention when I'm talking to you, boy.
Hey, we're acknowledging you right now. Every sub is editing work.
Boy's got a mouth like a cannon, always shooting it off.
Yeah, Anju. But you like the DMCA song, yes. So for clarification, I was just asked by someone, what does that whole kitty cat thing mean? Yes, that means subs are happening, and that is people supporting the channels. We really appreciate it.
Does not wear a bonnet.
And we love that one especially when evil does not wear a bonnet, but it does if you're a fluffy kitty ninja. And in this instance, it gets Hebrew Hammers throwing a bonnet in the chat, and it lands on Landmark Mike. Landmark Mike, congratulations. You have a bonnet on your head now. Wow. Guys, you guys are crazy. Thank you once again. You've been on it. You've been awesome, to put it mildly. So, barely started. I mean, we haven't even talked baseball yet. So let's do that. First things first. We've got a little bit of work that has started to take place. Yes, he doesn't have to edit the bonnet. Yes, the bonnet does not throw Anju off at all, to put it mildly. So let's go take a peek. Yes, call Anju the party pooper. No, I have much appreciation for Anju's work that he does here. We've set him up so that he has access to taking all the VODs over to our YouTube channel and getting things up and running so that I can focus on what you see here much more. We love Andrew. We're tolerant. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. So, you know what I'm going to do? Because I forgot. So, quick point of information. Thanks to a lot of feedback from you guys in the Discord for February and most likely going forward. As you know, unfortunately, we're forced to monetize everywhere we can. You know, I really always appreciate what you guys choose to do. Your choices are optional here. The only thing that is going to be mandatory going forward is that I do the ads, at least, because it does, even if it's not a lot, it does help pay for, you know, towards my daughter's college. Can I speak English as well? So thanks to your feedback, beginning on February 1st, later this week and going forward, we're going to change the format so that we don't have 90 seconds of ads every minute and a half. Instead, we're going to do 1 full hour of content and do a 3-minute break, which gives me a perfect time to do a bathroom break, get up, stretch my legs, not get water or beer. You always see me drinking anyway. That ain't going to change. But you get the idea. So appreciate that you're willing to do that. I hope that will not frustrate anybody and think that's the case. Again, 3 minutes of ads. If you watch regular Hulu, you're going to get more ads on that. Like I watch My Hero Academia with my daughter on Hulu, and we get at least 5 minutes of ads for a 25-minute show. Do the math. So again, we don't look to frustrate anybody with that stuff, but we gotta make sure we can pay the bills. So let's do this. I'm gonna do the break right now, and then we're gonna jump right into our content so that we can talk about what's happening. So we'll talk about what signings have taken place here right after the break. You are watching Fluffy Kitty Ninjas. It is the eMLB off-season hot stove talk. We'll be right back. Back live here on our Sunday edition of Fluffy Kitty Ninjas as we get ready to go forward. Nope, we haven't looked at anything yet officially. We've been just kind of shooting the breeze with the gang. There's a lot of kindness. Hype Train has already come in. Again, thanks to everybody who's come in and done some kindness to start the day. Dear Lord, it's been an adventurous weekend. So really appreciate the distraction that you guys caused. So let's start with talking about who has officially signed here in free agency thus far. The focus seems to be on relief. It starts with Joel Kuhnel. Kuhnel just signing $18 million. Are we going crazy, guys? $18 million signing for Kuhnel.
I am Optimus Prime.
Hello, Pirate. Dropping Optimus Prime on all of you once more. Thank you, Pirate. One of our longest subbed individuals, 33 months. That's almost 3 years, gang. We love it. Appreciate you doing that. So, $80 million for Joel Kuhnel with a $21.6 million option in his age 35 season. That is quite impressive. Kuhnel just barely a free agent. Last season, as you see, he had a 2.52 ERA, 11 saves to his credit during that time. He was more of a setup guy for RJ Frere. Gotta think.
We would be honored if you would join us.
Gotta think that Kuhnel is possibly being positioned as a closer at that price. Meanwhile, Nas Base, thank you very much for hitting the follow. Always appreciate helping to expand the litter box here at Fluffy Kitty Ninjas. So Kuhnel, gotta think the ground ball specialist, can throw pretty good for the strikeouts. He had 135 strikeouts this season. So pretty impressive run as you look at his numbers. That was a career high. So absolute career year in regards to how regular Kuhnel was out there. 85 appearances. He was there. He played in more than every other game this season. Impressive stat for him. turns 31, or he's 31 now. He'll turn 32 before the new season begins. I think Kunal is set for life, virtually, financially speaking. Two-time All-Star Kunal. Now, this one's not as surprising, and in fact, that Kunal signed for the amount he did and Jordan Hicks signs for less is impressive itself. Hicks signs a 4-year, $70 million deal to go into Los Angeles and become their closer. 242 career saves for Hicks. Outside of a brief spell in Seattle, he has spent most of his career in the National League, and this time it's go west, young man, as he will head to Chavez Ravine. Hicks just turning 30 years old. He's a 3-time All-Star, near 800 strikeouts already in his career, and the impressive 2.53 ERA that he has had over his time. This past season that he had was his worst ERA since 2018, his rookie year, but still, all impressive numbers from Hicks. This one fits more. Gotta think this is absolutely the closer on an already forming dominant team. We've seen the extensions taking place. You now have Darius McKenzie signed long-term. Dear Lord, my brain is gone to mush. You also had LaRon Smith sign an 8-year extension recently. Between those two players, $356 million has been spent over at least the next 8 years. Then you add Hicks, making $70 million. So, Dodgers are doing it. You guys have been put on notice for a while. Chris Holland, but you give Chris Holland a crap load of money? Boom. Yep. You guys in trouble. In trouble out there. One other small signing, Louis Ibarra, who has not played above A-plus ball, gets a 1-year, $3 million deal. Hicks refused my offer to play setup for Edwin Diaz. Well, I mean, he wants Timmy Trumpet to play for him, not for Diaz. It is what it is. But yes, LeBron making that bank in the City of Angels. Did not like Ibarra at all. That'll be an interesting signing, but again, when you're Philly, I guess you can afford it. So we'll see. Meanwhile, what will not be posted here, there's actually 2 pieces of information on this one. What will not be posted on here is current status on Andrew James. Of course, Andrew James is a community creative player. And with community creative players, we do things off of Out of the Park. We use it as a reference in regards to length of time. So James has been willing to look as far out as 6 years, which means by rule 7 years is the maximum any team could have offered him. We've gone through the deadline. We did have a late one, Pirate. If you're out there, I cannot accept your recent offer. You're the only one that officially is known about right now, but you had sent that offer last night, and the deadline had ended a couple days ago. So currently, we only had 6 teams submit. There were as many as 8, but 2 backed off. And now we were down to 3. And we know this. The rumor is it's all National League-based teams that are left. And we understand at least one team has made a huge offer on this player. So we'll see in the very near future, because it's down to the final 3. That means James is going to be looking at final offers and will be working with his office. He's hired Rachel Luba to make that offer, to work as his agent, and they are going to look at the final offers here in the very near future and do their final decisions. So that will be something to keep an eye on here. We may have closure on that here probably even as early as tomorrow's sim. We'll be sitting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock, barring any surprises with what's going on with Mrs. Commish, of course, because we can't control that. Meanwhile, one other thing of note, and this only got brought to my attention here super recently. I did not realize that Justin Barber was a free agent. Justin Barber is a community creative player of Captain Clutch. I know and talk with Captain Clutch pretty regularly. In fact, he was on my Facebook page this past episode here, and I'm going to be circling back with him. If he says he wants to be part of the process, then I will be voiding all deals here. So at this moment, I am going to kindly ask everybody to cease and desist on Justin Barber, Captain Clutch. You can see his history. He was a Yankee, did hit .243 with 20 home runs back in 2023, but since coming under the regime of Pete Grassi, he has not been used as much, mostly in a platoon role. So I will reach out to Captain Clutch and see if he wants any say in his players' process in regards to free agency. I was not expecting to have another community-created player to deal with yet, but that was why Andrew James is going through the process. So now I'm going to reach out to Captain Clutch and see if he wants to have the process. I will give him 24 hours to respond since he's active with me, and see if he can let me decide or know if he wants to be involved in this process and that we'll do it in the format that was done, or if he wants us to just let it go in the old-fashioned route. If he signs, I know at least one team has put an offer on him before this announcement, so I'm telling you it's being shot down. If he signs during the sim, it will not be accepted. Because again, well, actually, you know what? Since I'm only announcing it now, I'll put it this way. If he signs, I'm not accepting it unless Clutch says, I don't care, whatever the game does. Then I will be official. That's how I'll put it. So I'll leave it like that. But for now, expect that this player is not going to be allowed to be had additional offers placed on him for the time being. Hopefully that'll make sense. That'll get more clear as we go. Was not expecting Clutch to be out there. Career .240 hitter with 47 home runs in his time. As you see, if you do sign him, you will have him for additional control beyond this first season. But that is assuming he's on your 40-man roster. So, all right. Where do I want to go now? I think now we want to go and look at what trades have taken place here recently. Actually, before we do the trades, let's get 1 day simmed here. Let me make sure that I have Stats Plus on. I do. We're going to get one of our first days simmed here so that we can advance, see if there's anything additional to talk about, and then as we move on, we will talk about everything else that's taken place. We've had a fair amount of trades take place recently. As I drink from my one time I'm using it. This cup's too small for the size coffee I normally like to have. It's too small. It's dainty. All right. No new signings from what we can see, but we're going to go here as well. So you see what signings had taken place. No one had violated any of the rules thus far. Here's one that was interesting. I did want to bring this up. Jonathan Loaisiga had been placed on waivers, and Montreal says, yeah, we'll bite. Could have had him earlier. Could have had him in the expansion draft. But here we are. So Loaisiga, who we thought was very likely to go to an expansion team, finally does it, as he is sent over from St. Louis over to Montreal. Hi, Stroker. You're welcome for the sub, Stroker. By the way, you getting that gifted sub is an invitation for you to create a player. Maybe you'll create Stroker Ace and I'll have to find a Burt Reynolds look. Maybe there is a Burt Reynolds, face gen already out there. Who knows? But you can. I loved watching that growing up, even though I'm really not a fan of NASCAR. So anyway, of course I knew what it was from. I'm 2,000 years old. By the way, Lonnie Anderson was really hot now. So, and Jim Neighbors, golly. So yes, we would like you to create a player so that we can tell your story. So again, if you want to turn Stroker Ace into a baseball player, I'm all for it. Then if you ever want to make a second player, then you can do Jim Neighbors guy. Let's see. One nice thing about being the #1 waiver priority. Ned Beatty post deliverance. You'll be the chicken? Okay. That was funny, him having to drive around in that chicken costume. Or having the paint scheme that had him look like he had plucked feathers. So, that was good. So, Bo John Johnson from, was that the Dodgers? Yes, it was the Dodgers. He was a 1.0 player. Stroke, are you in our Discord? So if you look above, I just provided, I'll provide it one more time here. That gobbledygook gives you the Discord. If you're not in the Discord yet, join us there. In there, we have a create a player template. If a member of the community could guide Stroker to where he can find that template, then we will get your player all created and gone from there. All right, so I don't see any additional surprises or anything. Thank you, Minerva. I appreciate that. Yeah, if he's not in the Discord already, that would be awesome for that done. So I don't see any issues here. No new signings. And I don't think we had any freak injuries. Nope. No freak injuries. So let's move on. Let's talk about trades. Trades? Talking about trades? We talking about trades. All right, so first things first. What you see is there's Stroker. I see him just joining into the Discord. I think it would be better if I do this for a moment. Let me do this. I'm going to move this over here because I have it better set up to come over here. Let's talk about the biggest trade that took place here during our last most recent stream. Here you go. A three-way trade has been approved by the Office of the Commissioner. The Angels have traded 3 players, including Asa Lacy and Josh Jung, 2 on their starting active roster, along with top prospect Arturo Rojas, who looks like he was ready for the majors. They will all head to Milwaukee. Meanwhile, Tim Swanson, who was he was just outside of the top 100 of the total prospects, he will end up being the now top prospect of the Portland Stags. Oh! Shoot! I didn't have us set up properly, Jamie. I'm sorry, but the Mega Boost has been activated and Thundercats are on the move. Hey, Thundercats are loose, gang. Boom! Jamie Thurman cashing in a +6. Yes, Pirate has been blowing up my DMs. And believe me, my DMs were a lot longer. They were going off the page. So I've gotten a lot of work done. Anyway. Timer reset? What are you talking about? Oh, cashing in yours? Alright, anyway. So, again, Tim Swanson heading to Portland. 3 other players from the Angels heading to Milwaukee. Louis Armendariz will go from Milwaukee to Portland. He's a number 60 prospect in eMLB. Dave Odlum as well, and Chris Kimber all go to Portland. But going from Portland to the Angels, Nolan Arenado. As we look at Arenado, $38 million. Now, it was a bit of a surprise that Portland went after him for butts and seats. Or I should say, he wasn't the surprise. It was more getting Blake Snell as well that was the surprise. And really put a tightening on the Stags' budget. So they work out a 3-player trade that gets them 4 prospects. All players that look like they've got a future in the major leagues. But Nolan Arenado will go to Los Angeles in that arms race. Hey, arms, when you're one of the best defenders in the history of baseball, an 11-time Gold Glover, a 10-time All-Star, an 8-time Silver Slugger, and a former MVP. That is a hell of a deal. Arenado locked down for 3 more years and only paying 55% of what you owe him. That's a bargain. That's a bargain. Well played from Tom Falzone and the Angels to bring him in where the Cubs are paying 45% of the bill. 54 home runs last season for Arenado, a .266 average. He'll turn 36 early next year, but he doesn't show any signs of slowing down. 2,300 career hits, 527 home runs while still hitting in the 280s career-wise and still playing the stellar defense. Now, he will really give Buster Bluth a run for his money in regards to winning Gold Gloves, because Bluth has won 4 straight Gold Gloves over at third base. That will be very interesting. Maybe if you can get him into the Matt Chapman Hot Corner Clinic. And yes, the defensive boost over in the corner, because Jung was not known much for that specifically. What else in this deal? So Tim Swanson was the one part leaving Los Angeles and going to Portland. Swanson looks like he's got the outside potential to be an ace. By the way, I love the new logos, the Princeton Whistle Pigs. I give Attica a hard time for not listening at first and keep putting in assets that weren't there. But I decided I'll go look for them. And I'm kind of glad I did here now after the fact, because the Princeton Whistle Pigs is just cute. It's cute, isn't it? So Swanson, 19-year-old left-hander, played out of Arizona State. Very likely we will see him in the majors not very long from now. Tell me this club is named for the whiskey. It might be. He is 6'9", 215 pounds. That could be a very interesting one. So remember, you'll see, as I indicated, for those of you who aren't in our Discord, this is how it will look in Out of the Park. So if you look here and see like Josh Jung, Asa Lacy, and Arturo Rojas for $1, they had to be something as an asset to go over. Why aren't you in our Discord? Probably because, and I quote, some people tell me, too many notifications. Just mute the damn server. Mute the damn server. I tell everybody, if you're a virtual player, you'll get notified when trades happen. You'll get notified if there's something relevant I want you to be aware of. I don't just bomb you for the frig of it. We do it for a simple mentality of keeping you informed and in the loop on the universe, period. Mute the damn server versus leave it. If you like what we do here, that's fine. It won't offend me, but it's your job to keep up, not mine. I'll chase you from time to time if I think something's important, but that's it. So anyway, yes, let's get three-way working better, because it would be interesting, and it does happen from time to time. So Jung, I don't know if Jung falls on hard times, but you see what he's done. 5 straight seasons with 20 or more home runs in his 5 seasons in the majors, a career .244 hitter with 132 homers. Brewers aren't going to be hurt in regards to his offense of regards to power, but I think that they definitely take a step back in regards to the defense, as Jung has never been known for that. He did win an All-Star. He has won a World Series, and he even was a Division Series MVP once. Now, Asa Lacy, for me, is the more interesting one. Lacy has been lights out since wearing Angels red, and he doesn't have the highest ratings, but you see, he was 27-11 with a 3.87 ERA in his time in Angels red. His whip was improved. ERA isn't much lower, but again, he pitched pretty impressively. About the same length of time between both the Dodgers and the Angels. He's a part of this deal, and again, 3 years of managing him, where Jung is 1 year away from free agency. And then Arturo Rojas, I think this is a guy who's destined to be in the majors very soon. 22-year-old Dominican who throws mid-upper 90s. Excellent fastball, curveball combination, and he can make you swing and miss pretty well. I don't see him as a starter despite the stamina he has, but maybe he's got a little bit of that Joel Cunell swagger, where Cunell pitched in 85 games this past season. Maybe Rojas is destined for doing that as well. I think that's a pretty good acquisition on that end. Here is the next part of it. Here's the parts that got sent over to Portland. The other 3 prospects, Luis Armendariz. This guy looks like he's a potential competitor for ace mentality. He could be at least the number 2, but the 21-year-old from Colombia, pretty solid left-hander, currently ranked 60th in eMLB. He was 9-10 in 29 starts in A-Ball, Wisconsin this past season. Dave Odlum, another guy who looks like you could see him on the back of a rotation. You could see him possibly in long relief. He looks like he's got good potential overall. Guy that doesn't wow you with his strikeout capability or his control. He has some pretty good movement. Movement generally works downward.
Call me the Claw of Ling Chao. Clean up on aisle 7.
Stroker.
Keep up the streams. Thank you.
Hey, well, thank you. I appreciate your kindness in doing that.
I'm a kitty
Oh!
cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat, and I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.
Hey,
No.
a lucky 13
I'm a draggy
months.
drag. I'm a drag, 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 and a drag, drag, drag. Drag. I'm a draggy drag.
A dancing cat, but in this case, a dancing beardy dragon. Mwah. Hi. Hi. Daddy, put me down, please.
Bye-bye.
I saw him in the corner of my eye as I was writing down. So I had to give you a dancing dragon instead in that particular instance. Now I've got to go wash my hands at the next commercial, which is thankfully in 3 minutes. Downside of having a bearded dragon, wash your hands every dang time you talk, you play with him, because they don't mean it, but you know, their skin can emit what is the equivalent of salmonella. So don't do any of that, because bad, you will be in a bathroom for a good day or 2. I assure you that. Great Scott, thank you. A Lucky Baker's Dozen, 13 months, and Stroker Ace, $5 donation, thank you. Stroker, you might not have known this and never intended from my end, but when people choose to support the channel, I choose to give back to them in the way I can, which is improving their player. I know we have this argument, we're trying not to be pay to play here, but in the end, sometimes it works that way, but it is never expected. I just want people to enjoy the content, and I'm glad you are. You're making your player now, so that $5 that you gave, that's going to give you a boost. Again, never expected, but always appreciated that you did that. Thank you. Again, Great Scott, 13 months. You and I have to connect to get your player boosted there, sir. So let's absolutely do that as well. Could say that for a fair share of you. But again, I know you guys have been kind of careful, especially with how busy the offseason's been with the expansion draft. Then when you add in a little bit of the fustercluck that my wife had done recently.
Watch
So
your language, bud. We're on the air.
I didn't say cluster. Jeez, Daffy, Christ. I think Pug will always have some PTSD from LB loves his beardy. Yes, he does. He'll make him dance in front of you, indeed. So, Dave Odlum, another guy that I think could be a potential starter or a very impressive reliever in the background. Chris Kimber looks like he could be a bit of a prototypical leadoff kind of guy. Doesn't hit for really power, but he's got great speed. He's going to be a phenomenal type defender. I think this is a nice acquisition as well. So, Portland, setting up for the future here. That's the idea when you're just getting started. We didn't, you can't be the Vegas Golden Knights at all times. It doesn't work very often that happens. So I like that move as well. But of course, Arenado is the big part of that. So, wow, indeed. Jim is backed up. He needs some boost. Fine. Okay, dear Lord. All right, guys, next commercial break is here. Reminder, later this week, it will switch to an hour long of content with a 3-minute versus half of that and half the ads. So we will switch that over here starting February 1st. You're watching Fluffy Kitty Ninjas. We will get back and do the next day in a moment. Stick around. Back live on Sunday morning, Hot Stove Talk on the eMLB universe. We are getting the next day advanced as we come back live. Commish LP, welcoming you back. Thank you for spending a little bit of time on your Sunday with us, especially after the crazy few days we have had. Again, I have spent a good portion of 2 days in a hospital with my wife on an emergency surgery, her second in 5 months. Here we are, back. She's home, resting, or trying to do dishes, which she got no'd on. Trying to do other stuff. So, just rest. So we're not back in a hospital, Off to watch your son's robotic competition. All right. Sounds good, GT. Have fun. Thank you for coming on in and saying hello. Let's see. We are halfway through our sim. No new signings that we know of. Let's see if there's any other news to be done. We do have an international signing. Those are perfectly fine. Alfredo Barrera, has signed on a minor league deal out of the Dominican Republic. Nothing else extra, and I don't think we have any surprise injuries. No Mrs. Machado moments. Nope. No exploding crotches from fireworks. Yes, we've had that happen before. That's why we joke about Mrs. Machado. All right, so let's see. What else do we want to talk about? We did have an additional deal that we can talk about here. Let me bring that one up. Corbin Klaus had been picked by Portland. And then his $11 million salary is flipped over for 3 prospects from Tampa Bay. EBC, yes and no. We have a draft taking place, or we have a vote taking place this moment. We have issue that the way Out of the Park handles things, when you put them outside of the team officially and have this tournament format, if you make adjustments, sometimes it forces players to go to free agency like they're released. It creates a mess. It creates extra work for me. We're in the process of voting on whether or not we either just do a way outright with Winter League and do more of a traditional offseason, or if whether or not, which is more likely, if I can create an additional level in the minor leagues that is only used for Winter League. It would stop doing the seasonal. We wouldn't do the Winter League World Tour anymore, but we'd probably still feature that because some guys, not to pick on JR was like, why have it? Why bother? What's the value? And for me, the value was your interest in it and my premise of the stars of tomorrow shining bright today. That was the whole premise. So we're going to try to still keep the dream alive of it. We just need to do it in a way that it doesn't create the mess that Out of the Park unfortunately causes with it. It's just not well put together. There's not many things I can say that about Out of the Park. Besides the fact of not having head-to-head competition, which Dynasty League does, and I hate that format. I could never get Marcus to ever convince that because he's like, oh, cheating. Anyway, probably, who knows. But I would have loved it. So anyway, these are the 3 players going over in the Klaus deal. Let's look at Klaus first. He had 20 saves this past year. Aiden Pearson, while he was the Braves GM, liked what he had out of him and decides it's worth it. Portland does retain a little over $1 million of salary, or 1.5 to be exact. And you see he's got 3 more years remaining. So Portland picks him up, but then gets 3 players out of it. Alan Lewis looks like a potential third baseman, possibly even corner outfielder. He's not known for average, but he is known for being able to do some driving and being patient. He's a high OBP guy. Just too bad he's not a high average guy. So a little bit of a project player, but why not? Austin Hendrick, though, looks like he's a future player in the majors. Hello! Thank you, Pirate. 5 gifted subs. Seeing if any, because Y was one of them that got it. Thank you for doing that, Pirate. Boss battle, by the way, if we can get Fluffy's attention out and about. So as we were talking, Austin Hendrick looks like a player that could see the future in the majors. Not fast, but he's able to steal. That's the story on him. He's not the greatest defender in regards to his range, which probably explains his footwork here on stolen bases. But he's got good hands. He's got a pretty solid arm, probably a better right fielder than left fielder. But he's got some pop in that bat. He's a line drive type hitter. He's a patient hitter, or at least he's got a good eye for the strike zone. I wouldn't say patience, since his avoid K ratio is considered to be crappy. So still, good player to go after. Rusty McNamara is a 1.0 player. He was more of an offensive-minded player, slightly above average with the power, with his patience, not being able to be struck out a lot. So he is definitely someone who we could see in the majors, just a matter of how long of a version that we could see in him. Has a cannon for an arm, just doesn't have a lot of the range or the reaction time for the corner to be considered a great infielder. He's probably at best an average to just a tick above average as a third baseman long term in the majors. So Klaus goes over. Klaus's career, 2.95 ERA, 569 strikeouts in only 440 innings of work. Klaus will turn 32 in the summertime. So with 3 seasons left, gotta think the Rays are happy to add that arm to their pen. And the Stags looking to continue to build on their future with the influx of prospects that they have gotten here post-draft. Fluffy! Yay, we got Fluffy out. We love it. Let's see. What other trade do we have that happened here? Oh, well, we've got one we'll definitely want to talk about in a moment. But let's go to this one. Hello? Great Scott! Great Scott! You've got a boost! A boost! Cashing in some of them hairy balls of yours and cleaning up your part of the chat. Great Scott cashing in and getting a boost on his player. Wonderful. Another minor trade, but this one could have some importance. Gabriel Rodriguez has been sent over to Seattle from Portland. Now, Rodriguez had an impressive season in Atlanta this year. Sub-2 ERA in 68 innings of work, 88 strikeouts in that time. Gotta think this was a breakout season for him. He has been in the majors for the past 3 years, but this was his first full season that he spent in the majors. From Miami-Dade, the Puerto Rican, really started to assert himself. He'll turn 28 early next year. Plenty of control for him for a while. Can I create managers and coaches? Technically, the game creates them anyway. takes certain players and just turns them into coaches type thing. So nothing I want to manually create. Would love Scooter Jeanette to get into coaching. Well, don't know. Hadn't thought that far yet. But he'd still have to be able to be a straight out coach that could go out there if that were the case. Everyone's got to be able to have the chance to be able to get him in that instance. So what do the Stags get? They get Rogelio Arellano is who they pick up. Kind of a back-end prospect spot starter in regards to his possible future in the majors. Now again, this is a guy who knows 3 pitches, so if you're looking at him as a 20-year-old and thinking, or soon to be 21-year-old, he'll turn 21 within a sim week here. So tomorrow, during tomorrow's sim, he'll turn 21. During this instance, is this a player you look at as a 4th? You add the 4th pitch, and is he more of a possible talent? Possibly. Even if he is not a stellar starter, might have enough of a credo to be, he'll be able to throw a little harder, realistically, maybe get some more strikeouts. Already got good control and fabulous movement. Almost looks like he is a 1.0 pitcher where they don't get a lot of strikeouts, but they have phenomenal control. We'll see. That is, again, not a bad risk to take. You're giving away a 27-year-old player for a guy 7 years younger that could be an equivalent of him in the future, or maybe better, depending upon how you choose to develop him. All right, let's get our next day done and see what is going on around the universe. The thought of IRL Scooter being a coach gives JR all the giggles. Why not? Because he knows Scooter personally. Mark Maisonneuve, to AAA you go, sir. I don't think we have any more DFAs. Nope. Not at this time. This will be the 3rd day that we'll be simming here. Alright, doesn't look like anyone signed, but we'll look for sure. Well, we had a minor league signing. Baltimore giving Javier Atencio an offer with a signing bonus. Man, those signing bonuses, yo, just throwing that money all over the place. And injury log, any unexpecteds? Nope, we are good. Sounds, yeah, once in a while I come up with good ideas. EBC, but yes, that was the whole intent, and the only adjustment on that was the Friday night sim that was going to be live could not be done because as that time was taking place, that's when my wife was having her emergency surgery. But we were still able to do the stream yesterday when there was nothing planned, so now we're back on schedule. It's like having Vader, you know. Do I even have that one? I don't think I do. I guess not. No, I guess not. So I do have a TIE Fighter sound effect, though. It's not the best one, but anyway. Yes, I hope so, too. I just hope she's not trying to do, like, the laundry, because I will go poke her in the eyes. So, Baltimore is the out-of-the-park Mets. Could be. So, all right. So, let's go. There was one deal I wanted to talk about that I thought was of interest. To build up on the most expensive backstops in eMLB currently, Joey Bart has been traded from the San Francisco Giants to the Los Angeles Angels. He will be going over and working with Tomoya Mori. Now, again, for those of you who are in the know and were here during the expansion draft, you know that very reliable backstop Joseph Tank was picked up in the expansion draft Tank will probably get a little bit more of a better look now in that situation, but it left a glaring hole, and the Angels decided to capitalize on it and put that money to good use. Joey Bart, $15 million, not known as much for the offense these days. Still got great pop in that bat, hit 7 home runs last year. So if you gave him a full season, he probably would have hit in the teens, and we've seen that from him before. His career year, 252, 22 home runs, and 62 RBI back in 2022. Still setting the pace on what the expectations were on Bart. But he's really more there for the defense. When you look at him over his career, he threw out about 25% of runners, just a little below the average. But he calls a good enough game, and this past year, he brought the full ERA down a run. Is that the Jandy Ronson, Ethan Candela effect? Possibly, most likely. But Bart calls a good game nonetheless. Should be a good fit here. They'll love him for his clubhouse presence. That'll be good because you've got a guy who joins a team that already has Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani as your leaders, and you put a guy like Bart into the equation. He'll turn 30. He'll have the younger guys looking up to him just as much. Tomoya Mori will have a very reliable battery mate, and Mori may even see some of his at-bats lost to Bart, because Bart provides better defense if memory serves, and I like the deal. Now again, you now have $75 million of payroll tied in to 2 catchers. But it's the Angels, they can afford it. Bart, 30 already, yes. Well, we're also approaching 2027, so there's possibly that too. Chris Williams is who gets acquired for San Francisco. He is a 24-year-old pitcher in Double-A. Last season, he was 10-9 with a 2.83 ERA and a 1.11 WHIP in that time. Question mark will be when he gets to the majors and has better talent, does he have the credo to stick around? They consider the movement to be average, the stuff to be average. Good control, probably can continue to improve on that. The issue, not great with the secondary pitches. He's got a good fastball, a respectable splitter. It's the other stuff. The stuff does not bend. And if he can't get it to bend at the major league level, it could be hit a long way. So we'll see if Williams, who is now 24 years old, how high his ceiling could potentially get. Starter possibly, but I'm not a starter I would put a lot of faith in based on what his current record has shown so far. All right, so really wasn't looking to talk about trades done from earlier. These are all the trades that we just discussed that took place in the prior sim. And you'll be shocked to know that there are no new trades. For once, there's no new trades for me to actually review and process here. Tom's catching duo just about matches your whole MLB payroll. Yes. Maury and Bart together are getting paid more than the entire rosters of the Pirates, Blue Jays, Royals, Twins, and Athletics. Dear Lord. There's some humor to that. So here's what I think we're going to do. I think I'm going to sim one more day here in a moment. Well, first off, I'll see if anyone has any questions on anything. As a reminder, what we talked about today, I'm waiting on hearing word on Justin Barber, who is a free agent. He is a community-created player. Wasn't expected. But I got to see if he wants any say on the free agency process. And if so, then I will start that process over by announcing that. If not, and he says in-game, we haven't seen him signing yet. So, Jason, I did get your off-season training. And if you don't think you're going to be going after anybody, both either minor leaguer or major leaguer, that you would put off-season training on, then I will accept what you did and I will get that done. But if you think there are some possible peoples you might be trying to bring in that you would do that, then I might tell you to not have me accept those instructions maybe save them and resubmit them later with your changes, because if I go in to submit them now, there will be not but, hey, I want to change this. The answer will be no. So it's your call. If you say, yep, go ahead and I understand the risk, fine. If you would rather wait and see if any surprises happen, maybe you get a trade done that you weren't expecting, then you can tell me to hold off and not accept them. Okay. So for the moment, I won't do anything on it. You tell me to either accept as is or wait, and that you'll resubmit later with some possible changes. Whitley and Siebold won't be signing until their ass comes down. Really? So, Connor Siebold was 17-8. And even if the ERA isn't great, his WAR is still 3.2. So apparently he's asking, now again, this is just OSA rumor. Everyone gets different numbers.
I am Optimus Prime.
Buffalo, thank you for dropping Optimus Prime on everybody. The good news is when you're on a show dedicated to Saturday morning cartoon style, you become a pancake, but you'll be fine. More the number of years than the AAV. So see, we won't get into that. We won't look at that because everyone gets different numbers. Well, they've got to, right? Do you blame him? He's 30. It's probably his one big contract signing. Whitley, 29. Could be his one big contract signing. Now, Whitley, used as a starter up until the World Series run in the playoffs when he became a reliever, 2.1 WAR. So, it'll be interesting to see how you guys play it out. Some of these guys will be waiting a bit. So let's talk about something really quick. I want an opinion from the GMs in the chat. Do you think free agency isn't as sexy because of the contract extensions format? Do you think we should have less contract extensions? You would never in a million years give a pitcher an 8-year deal on OOTP or in real life. Minerva, it's as simple as this. Is 4 contract extensions too many? Is free agency too boring? Because look at who your top players are. Trey Turner, Connor Siebold, Forrest Whitley, Daniel Procopio, Pablo Lopez, Victor Robles. Robles, it's his second jaunt into free agency in 2 years. The expansion draft is watered down a stable of players. No, Pirate, I respectfully disagree with you. Why? Because the sterilization of the minor leagues that I just did, everybody now has a AAA, a AA, an A+, an A, and 2 rookies. Some of you had 4 rookie leagues. Some of you had an A-. So, I disagree. The expansion draft has not watered down the stable of players because the sterilization of the minor leagues, and that you are still going to have limits on how many players you can have. You can have 35 maximum in the lower levels, 30 maximum at the higher levels. Yep. So, Stroker, I think you might have been here last week when we did the expansion draft, which was a lot of fun. It was a challenge, but it was a lot of fun. LBO just mean high-budget teams will have more access to the players. Maybe. But, qualifying offers, compensation picks will be in play. More. Tim, I'm going to be reaching out to you afterwards. The competition committee and I have talked, and we're in agreement on the amazing content you have done with the CCP Festival. Thank you, sir. That's all I can say. We are not worthy. We appreciate it. You are a big part of the life and the livelihood that this universe gets. It breathes from what you put into it, and what you put into it creates this environment that we see. I know that there are plenty of people here lurking just for drops, but those of you who are not, you are here because you enjoy what you're doing, and I'm glad. That was the whole idea. It was the whole idea. Wanting to play in a league where everything is n equals 100, those exist. I personally like the challenge. Well, good. That was the whole idea. Well, Minerva, one thing that could help lower budget teams. Here is what we're discussing, and there will be most likely a vote on it in the near future, and it will not impact this season. It would go into effect next season. The talk is that if we remove anyone in an arbitration, if you sign a 1-year deal to just avoid arbitration, that should not count. If you lower the amount of salaried extensions for more than 1 year, non-arbitration guys, any extensions to players there use up roster spots. What if we cut it in half and you can only do 2 extensions a season? Ignoring arbitration. Arbitration doesn't count as an extension if it's a 1-year deal. But that you can only do extensions on 2 players. Again, real quick, let's explain why we're talking about this. Here is 2026. And actually, you can already see in 2027. The Dodgers have locked down Darius McKenzie, LeRon Smith. Neither were going to be free agents. Fernando Tatis has been locked down. But look, the prior year. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 teams. More than a third of the league when we were 30. Had done more than 2 extensions. Best free agents that cost money will always go to teams that can afford them. But any team can afford them. Look at Minnesota and Carlos Correa. I am Groot. Which, if you speak Groot, you know that Correa just said, my ankle's fine. Worth $200 million. It does not affect, if in fact it maybe lessens for workload on me. Now, the 15 messages unread is Pirate sending me each of his boost requests separately. And then he sent an Andrew James request yesterday, and I already told him on stream that he was too late. So again, this would be severely lowered. Look at the prior year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams. Don't worry, Pirate. You're fine. So this is part of what the discussion is on whether or not we should allow less extensions, should allow arbitration-only players that are signing one-year deals. If you decide to go more than 1 year, that's an extension. If you're doing a 1 year to avoid arbitration, that we won't count it as an extension. Under current rule, anything that is salaried extension counts towards your 4. Minerva, listen. And it's not difficult. Just listen. If you have an arbitration guy, I'm asking, if you had an arbitration guy and you do 1 year deal to avoid arbitration, should it count as an extension or not? If that's going to change, then we need to limit extensions. We need to cut extensions from 4 down to, say, 2. Small market teams don't have to worry about trying to sign a 1 year deal in fear of using a limited amount of extensions. But big teams will not be allowed to just outright hoard the talent. If you look at it this way, right now the Dodgers, who just locked down McKenzie and Smith, Laron Smith, Darius McKenzie, for $356 million, you could say under this possible change in rule that uses their 2 extensions, and that everybody else could be at risk of going to free agency. Let's just pick on the Dodgers for a moment. That might not mean a lot, but Victor Arano, Julio Urias, Yoan Moncada, Jung-Hoo Lee, even Yasel Sierra, as an example, are players that would outright go to free agency. You know they would go to free agency. There'd be no choice unless they got traded, and that team has extensions that they utilize. JR's right. And again, no disrespect intended to anybody. When JR has a thought, it's just a little extra because he's 2 decades of being a major league executive. No, he's not a general manager, but he's there. He knows all of this stuff. So that's a good point. How many teams confidently sign 3 to 4 guys a season? Not many. Most of them are done as arbitration. And most of those arbitration in our current definition count against your 4. So maybe we need to change the definition of that. Okay. Yeah, AI does way too many extensions indeed. I don't disagree with you. All right, I'm going to take one more break, and when we come back, we will see what happened on the final day. That'll be done during the break. Commercial is coming. It'll be the last break of the day. You're watching Fluffy Kitty Ninjas here on Twitch TV. We'll be right back. Back live, Fluffy Kitty Ninjas show. It is eMLB Hot Stove, and boy, we've got some hot stove to talk about. Several signings here on the final day of today's sim, and it starts with 3-time batting champion Alex Verdugo. Verdugoat, as Yuka would call him. Alex Verdugo is off to Miami. The one-time, well, now again, he's won 3 batting titles here. He's a 4-time All-Star. He has hit .365 with the Orioles, then been traded to Atlanta and fallen on hard times. He's still suffering from a torn meniscus in his knee and still rehabbing from that. But Verdugo, a 5-year deal with a player option on the 5th. $65 million to head to Miami as the butts in seats strategy continues to work for Eddie Sunder. Oh, Minerva, cut it up. Yeah, national TV money gets shared, but not local money. And remember, when you participate here on Twitch in the national broadcast game of the day or night, you get additional national TV revenue money as I award cash to the winner and loser as well. So Pug, welcome. New friend in your lineup, Alex Verdugo. You'll hopefully be driving him in a bit. Verdugo's still a well-known in regards to his fielding. He's probably always hit way over his average. Hey, Sparks. I thought I saw you speak earlier. Just finished your third season with the D-backs. Still can't get over 500. No. The Diamondbacks 3 seasons ago were your world champions here in eMLB. Once upon a blue moon. Let's see. Where are we? Good for Miami, bad for you. How is it bad for you? It can't be bad for you, can it? But Verdugo, still, he signs a 5-year deal. You look at what he's done. 315 career average, 144 home runs, 1,200 hits are coming to Miami now. I don't know. He didn't do well in Atlanta. I don't know if his days of being a 300-plus hitter are done. But if Verdugo ends up working out well, that could be a good thing. Now, it's interesting. He's not considered to be the most enjoyable guy to be around. But the stats don't lie. You see the red. 2021, 2022, 2025. 3-time batting champion. Heads back to where he's had more success in the National League. His days of fluking out as an MVP have come and gone. All right. Still a little time before that happens for you there, Pug. As we look at your player, you've got still 2 seasons before you're eligible. So not even until 2028. Yeah, in the middle of the 2028 season is the earliest that you could even talk about having a possible extension. He enjoys a good book. A good book, The Art of Hitting with Wade Boggs, right? So Verdugo is the first of 4 signings that have taken place. Next, Forrest Whitley. Whitley is off to Atlanta. Kenny Lindbergh will lock down Whitley as he signs a 6-year deal. 5 are guaranteed. The 6th is a player option year. $124 million for Forrest Whitley as he goes and signs. He will leave the world champion Astros. That was no real surprise that he would do that. Again, Whitley just under 1,100 career strikeouts in 192 appearances, just under 1,000 innings of work, so you know he can still bring it. And he had his best strikeout per 9 ratio this past year at 10.8 over that time. So Whitley, it didn't translate in regards to his WAR, but for what he's paid, I'd say he's right on par. You go to many Red Sox games, and Verdugo's wife is something else. Aren't they all? I gotta think most of them are. I am at a loss on what is being talked about. Well, Tim, it'll definitely be an adjustment this season. Red Dit has to come to Cincinnati at some point, right? Money can buy you nice-looking kitty cats. And here we're on the Fluffy Kitty Ninjas show, and we have a lot of kitty cats, indeed. So, pun intended. Yes, we're all. You know, it's either exorbitant or it's an utter catastrophe. You know, it's either one of that. So, Caleb Frere will also head to Miami, the reliable mid-reliever, or at least he was when he was in Pittsburgh. Probably not so much when he got traded over to Baltimore. I think Brendan was probably all, don't let the door hit you on the way out, with how he performed in the 16 innings that he had played there. Frere signs a short 2-year, $5 million deal. Now, if you get Pittsburgh, Caleb Frere, good value. If you get Baltimore, Caleb Frere, not so much. But the 33-year-old, who is now on his 5th team, 329 innings of work, and a big strikeout guy. You see the numbers. Yes, 13.4 strikeouts per 9 innings. That's a pretty impressive statistic, to put it mildly. Frere should be a nice addition. I gotta give a tip of the cap here. Miami is not a high-budget team. They are not. 24th, 30th with the budget. They're signing people, yo. It is possible. Now, again, are they signing Alex Verdugo because no one else wants him? I've seen some of you bet. I've seen some of you only offer like 2-year deals. Not saying any teams. Chris Holland. What's the harm in saying that? It ain't gonna hurt anybody. And $5 million is not a bad risk. But again, $500 million isn't a bad risk when you have a $300 million budget. Maybe a little bit more of a risk when you're $160 million. You got to be very careful of where you put your money. But speaking up, Kevin Ginkel will sign a 3-year deal to go pitch in San Francisco. The former Met, you look at the stats. He had an ERA under 1 this year, a WHIP under 1 this year. Yikes. Kevin Ginkel played like it was a contract year, and he got paid, to put it mildly. 3 years, $4.64 million. He should be a comfortable part of this bullpen. Now, if he can continue to bring it like he did in his Mets experience, that is an impressive pitcher. Here's the docket on him. 465 career strikeouts and 371 innings of work. Does have a little bit of experience in prior to the World Series season for the Diamondbacks. He had 46 saves in his time, but it was not pretty. You put him in a little bit of this less pressure situation, and he has performed. So again, 3-year deal for Kevin Ginkel, who will turn 33 just before the regular season starts. So there are 4 signings that just took place. Again, I got to think that Forrest Whitley is your biggest signing. He is now an Atlanta Brave. Alex Verdugo signing. So the National League East was pretty prominent in this particular sim day that we just did. See if anything else took place here. There were others. Those are the ones that are most notable. Anything else? Nope. Mostly just free agents signing minor league deals. Some waiver action. Blake Robertson acquired from the Dodgers. Dylan Cruz from the Angels. Graham Ashcraft from the Orioles acquired off of waivers from Cincinnati. So Cincinnati getting rid of their trash, I guess. Do we have any injury? You like more teammates? Yes. All right. So I don't see anything extra. So back where we were just talking about. We were talking about if we should consider a change. It's being discussed on whether or not a change on how many players can be assigned to extensions, and that arbitration, 1-year arbitration signings, not be defined as an extension. So again, a player who shows up on your arbitration list that you sign to a 1-year deal, a guy who's between 3 years and 0 service days and 6 years and 0 service days, so basically 5 years and 171 service days, would be guys that would be arbitration. You sign them to 1-year deals, doesn't affect you. But extensions, would having less extensions improve the potential, especially for your community creative players, or maybe not necessarily the community credit players, but maybe some of the other stars to see free agency? Now, that's good and bad. Here's why. All you have to do is look at when Seiya Suzuki and Tomoya Mori became available. Mori went for $543 million with a GM who I don't think was good as a GM. It wasn't realistic. No one makes $60 million a year. The other player, Seiya Suzuki, was signed on a deal that maybe, well, it's still grossly overinflated. But it was worse when he had 86 million the first season.
And I dance,
Oh.
dance, and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance. Cat, I'm a kitty cat. And I dance, 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 and I dance, dance, dance.
Sean Paxlayer, thank you, sir. We hope you are feeling well. You have had, you've been run through the ringer as well. So we are glad that you're here and that you're doing well. Tier 3 sub from Sean Paxlayer, which again means 7. That's a 7 boost to Sean Paxlayer's account. Anyone who's crazy enough to do that, they get a little extra perk. So again, tier 3, thank you, sir. Very kind of you to do that, as always. And so since Sean's just getting here, as you see, you signed Kevin Ginkel. You pulled a stag? Why, by signing Ginkel? Minerva's, Attica's ... response is just perfect to that reply. So, as I have hiccups massively all of a sudden here. Dear Lord. So again, it's going to be a topic of discussion. We will definitely talk about it further. For now, we will continue.
Great horny toads!
Great horny toads indeed. Great horny toads. Dishnet. You crazy man. Let's see. Newt God Sparks, who's here, just got a gifted sub. Split Ends is a player. Thank you, Dish. Thank you, sir. If you are here and you just were a benefactor of Dishnet's boost or gift that he gave out, so Sparks is here for that, then Sparks, you've been invited to join us and create a player so we can tell your story in this perpetual universe that we have. It is the eMLB universe, a mix of real-life players, 1.0ers from when we started eMLB in July of 2000. Of course, some eMLB on the showers, and you guys. We love telling the story. We hope that you continue to enjoy what we do around here, and we are always endeavoring to try to do just a little bit more. Another CCP, well, he has one. He has one. He has a new CCP created in the Discord. There is the section marked New Community Created Players. You can see the inventory of current players who have declared for the draft created by you guys. We've got about 10 at least. Am I wrong in thinking pulling a stag is part of siring a horse? All right, Stroker, you're going to fit in just fine around here. We're all about dad jokes indeed. Oh, Sean Paxlayer, work on your boss. That will not count towards the quota. You're not in the boss battle yet. I got a DM about Toglia. Yep. If you don't mind, we'll go right over to him. I think he's in your list. Do you have him DFID? No? Where is he? AAA? Double A? No? Where is he? Where do you have him? Triple A? Okay, Toglia. Oh, he's there. Couldn't see him. All right, so Michael Toglia, one of your gambles where you put a crap load of players. Yeah, yes, Dish. You just gifted 10, so yeah, that gave you 10. You had one gift from earlier. You did your own sub, so you probably have 18 now, just FYI. Someone was at the side door, probably for the dog. So you wanted to release them outright, correct? I think I can release like this. So it would be 23,650, but you want that to under the new rule, right? Is that what you wanted? I gotta pull that. Yeah, I gotta pull up the rule exactly as we defined it and see if I can find it here. Ah, no, it won't be there. Yeah, create alternative buyout method for releasing a player and paying full contract up front. And this was going to come into effect this season. Yeah, it can be done. But what I will do, you know what? I honestly need to look at that. So Sparks, once upon a time, Random Rosters did actually create it, but once the game became MLB licensed, it wasn't necessary. Not just MLB licensed, but MLB PA licensed, it was no longer necessary to do that. But once upon a time, they did create that. Okay, Cody, let me circle back on you. That's not an issue. The issue is just making sure I do it the right way. Is it one of those where I will delete his salary, but then bake it on because I won't be able... It'd be great if it gave you the option to do it. Uh-oh. Looks like Michael Toglia could be a future Oriole target. Yeah, let me figure out the cleanest way to do it. We definitely can do that. It's just a matter of how to do it. I know it should be doable. I just need to refresh myself and reread the whole rule as you guys voted, because again, we give you that right to influence how our universe runs. Like the minor league signings. Players all now have a minor league raise. They're all at $650,000 if they get into the majors, which is up from $590,000. All right. All right, so we'll get ready to call it here, but we'll let you guys do your last round of game playing. Meanwhile, let's see if there's any questions that anyone has. As I look and see where we going. Yes, there is. So, Will, as a first thing, no GM should be approaching you and even talking trade with you yet. You're not even in the file yet. I got to get you in after I go offline here. You and I definitely should circle in the background so I can get you more properly educated on where your team stands right now. I know we've talked about it. I know you've seen it, but you haven't gone in the game yet to see it from the scout standpoint. So again, with you being brand new, let's get you situated. Let's get you started. Yes, you will be protected. If any of these buzzards bother you prior to you will be the one to decide when you're ready to talk. But let me get you fully up to speed, especially since we're in free agency. And let's just make sure. But yes, for those who might not have been here earlier, I introduced 3-Sport Geek Will Moore as our new GM of the Oakland Athletics. He will be taking over. I will be adding him to the file momentarily, right after we go offline. So again, welcome to him. And again, for those, I don't know, I think Will knows this, with the recent expansion of Portland and Montreal, we've gone from the traditional MLB format you're used to now 32 teams, 2 divisions, 8 teams per division. The top 2 teams make the major or the playoffs. They get the playoff in the first round bye. 4 wildcard teams, regardless of what division they're in, you'd see a sample of how it would have finished this year. You would have had all 4 National League West teams winning because the best NL East team could only produce 80 wins that didn't win the division. Dear God. All right, good. So it will be a very interesting time. And again, Will, just so you know, for purposes of the amateur draft, even though you had the worst record, but we have 2 teams coming in, you will actually pick 3rd on the amateur draft that we will do in July. Just so you know. Said the what? I'm assuming he said thank you for the gifted sub. And welcome, Alf, even though I apologize that I only speak English. I don't even declare myself speaking French. Mon Dieu. File is not available yet. Not yet. I have some work to do in the background before the file is released. I have to fix the problem created by Ryan Hetzer. Unintentionally, but still. Gives me a moment to glare at him. So I will work on that. And then we will get a file out to you. So, schedule does remain. For those of you who are not in our Discord, why are you not there? Why are you not there? But here is our current Discord schedule. If you're not there, this is how you'll know what our content is for this week. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock Eastern, will be our our next 4 days to be simmed. Tuesday night, I was originally going to do offline, but I'm going to do it online now. So that will change. Wednesday will be our Rule 5 draft. That'll be live on here. No Portland or Montreal player can be picked in that draft. It's 1 round. Players that are 24 years and older and not on the 40-man roster are eligible to be selected. Montreal and Portland can pick teams. What? What do you want me to do? Oh, dear God. Oh, boy. All right. So, again, the changes. Tuesday will be online now. And again, Tuesday, 6 o'clock is your last chance to clean your roster up. Again, Montreal and Portland get a pass on this. Every other team, you need to have your 40-man set, and you need to protect the players you are not wanting to lose in Rule 5. Only players that are 24 or older for the umpteenth time. If you put a player on your 40-man that's under 24, and you're like, oh, I didn't realize I wasn't going to lose him. Can I get a freebie? No! You will not get a freebie. You will not get a freebie. But there's our schedule. The only thing we're not sure about yet, which I will work on a bit today, in between taking care of the wife, is where's Winter League going? Are we staying as is, or are we going to change it up? Right now, it looks like we are going to change it up. I've just got to figure out how to do it. It might not be as hard as you think for me to do it. It's just setting the rules, which is what I have to figure out the most. So, we'll do that, and then we'll take it from there. But for now, let's call this a done day, shall we? I'm so glad we had this time together. I do. Thank you all. We appreciate it. But for now, it's back to the litter box I'm going. Fluffy Kitty Ninjas do assassinate, and you're looking at their victim. So next time I can find some glue and tape, I'm going to put my head back on straight. We'll be back in front of you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern to continue the hot stove talk. Let's see what new stuff will take place tomorrow. We'll see if any possible trades will emanate to give us some more content to talk about. But for now, we'll go right over to one of our community-created players. The Danielle Freak is playing some Madden here right now. So we'll go pay him a visit. Please drop on in and give him the old Fluffy Kitty Ninja raid. But for now, Commish LB reminding you how you think directs your life. When you think your best, you're going to be your best. So please go and do your best. I will try to make sure that Mrs. Commish does not try to paint the house or something like that, something she is prone to doing. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for all the time, bits, subs, donations, follows, just being here. We appreciate it. See you soon. Peace.
You jackass!